All right, Shalom. Welcome back to another video. Before I get started, I'm going to give all the praise, honor, and glory to our beloved Heavenly Father, Yahweh, who the world calls God, and the name of his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Double honors to the apostles, the elders, and the bishops of Great Millstone, who rule and teach well. Peace, love, and salutation to the elect scattered abroad. To you, Akim, pushing his words in truth and in sincerity, while lifting the standard of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. To you all, I say, Shalom. It's your fellow servant, Malachiah, back with another lesson, Lord willing. It be edifying to the hopeful elect. All right. Real quick, I got an update. All right. China moving towards that mark, man. All right. The digital yuan. Okay. Like old boy in the video said, China isn't doing the same thing that America is doing. All right. Newsflash. They're setting the tone, man. Okay, they're moving quickly, towards that digital system. Okay, like I stated in the video, facial recognition, digital kiosk, you name it, man. All right, fingerprint, palm print reading. Okay, they got it all. So basically the tone is being set. Okay, and this is going to be a segue. This digital currency is going to be a segue to what we all commonly know as the RFID microchip, man. Okay, it's not hard to see. But before I play this video, I want to address, all right, this demon on the comment board, man. Okay, and the reason why I called him a demon, you will see here in a second. Okay, at first, you read the comment and you think, okay, just another new Jake in the truth. And it almost slipped past me, man, But, I read the comment. All right, it says Malak Judah 1985. All right, he made a comment under this video I did yesterday. It says, I'm new to the truth. I just wanted to know if someone on the street asked me to prove the MOTB microchip with the precepts, which ones do I go to prove it? All right off the bat, reading it, you think, if you're new to the truth, you shouldn't be trying to, teach yet, man. Depending on how new you are. And if you don't know that the MOTB, is the RFID micro C-hip and how to explain it, you need to be built up in the spirit, a little bit more before you out in the highways and byways teaching, man. That's how guys get confounded, all right? They get antsy. Just coming into the truth, they want to rebuke their mama, their daddy, they boss at work, all right? They want to, put them some fringes on the T-shirt, go get them some camp signs made and go jump in the streets head first, man. All right, you got to get built up in this thing, okay? And then, yeah, man, the spirit has to be with you to even understand this breakdown. Okay, yes, it's simple, but then again, at the end of the day, okay, it's going to be a stumbling block to those who the Lord is not dealing with, man. All right, but anyway, like I said, man, you see this comment, you think, okay, just another Jake, want you to hold his fucking hand, But I got to looking at the name. I'm like, that name looks familiar. So I clicked on the page and lo and behold, this nigga made a comment 2 months ago, all right? A couple comments on another MOTB video that I did, man. And this is what sent me through the roof, man, because, I can't think of anything at the moment, that infuriates me more than when a nigga try to play with your intelligence, man. A nigga try to insult your intelligence. Because you coming in the spirit as if, this your first time commenting on one of my videos, talking about, you knew and, acting sincere, man. I hate that shit, okay? I hate a fake sincere person, man. Just be real. Just come out and say, I'm the same person from the last video, I need you to break this down. But anyway, okay, this is a video I did a couple months ago. It says the title of that video was The Mark. How can you buy or sell with sin? Which is a highlighted question that none of these camp leaders can answer, man. Some say that sleeping with white women is the mark of the beast. So when that time comes, okay, and the MOTB is made mandatory, everybody's gonna have to sleep with a white woman. How does that sound, man? How are you going to buy, sell, and trade with sin? Nobody still have yet to answer that question, but, you know, Jake want to go all around the world and ask who's going to implement the mark. Fuck that, man. What is the mark itself, man? You know? But anyway, he commented on that video and said, how you going to buy or sell when the storehouses are going to be empty? You guys never read 2nd Esdras chapter 15. People are going to get their houses broken into for food for the lack of bread. So this slow-belly nigga, okay, think that, you know, the only food that's going to be available is the food that's going to be at your local corner stores and markets, okay? The so-called white man is going to set up booths and all kind of shit. He's going to be in charge, man. You know, when they bring down that law that you can't enter into a city, you can't leave, okay? You're going to have places that's going to be protected by the military, man. Okay? So this guy's not spiritual. And you can go into it even deeper than that, all right? But, you know, this guy right here isn't on the level to even go that deep with, man. All right? So I said, cut the bullshit. Is the MOTB, the RFID implant, yes or no? The nigga said, hell no. There are no precepts to prove it. You can't take a word out the blue letter, charagma, and turn it into a doctrine. Buying and selling can be spiritual. The Bible is spiritual, not carnal. Nigga, you carnal, you know? Yes, the Bible is a spiritual book, but there's actual literal things, man, in the scriptures that are playing upon tables. All right, so you can see here that this nigga is a demon, man. Okay, he's you know, coming in the spirit like he's sincere and wants to know how to break this scripture down. Okay, this has been 2 months ago. Okay, two months ago, fast forward to now, you still haven't figured out that the MOTB is the RFID micro chip. That means the Lord is not dealing with you, man. Okay, I said keep the same energy when it's implemented then, cuz. And where's your camp lessons and breakdowns since you got the truth? All right, because that's another thing, man, that these comment board demons lack, man. They have all this to say about this and that camp, the breakdown of this camp. You're not breaking that down correctly. But you go on their page and it's a fucking wasteland, man. Okay? This is the next comment that says, you made the lesson. Where are the precepts? I thought we get understanding through precepts. See, you could right off the bat, you could tell this is a goddamn slow-bellied demon, man. All right, probably a fucking nigga. Okay? But you want to come in the spirit like you meek and you sincere. The Lord is going to kill you, man. Okay? If you knowing this truth, you don't got no right, you don't got the audacity to come up against anybody in this truth saying, nah, man, you got that breakdown wrong. Okay? How do you know? You just said it yourself that you knew to the truth. You know, but who knows if that's even true, man? Because you've already been found out to be a demon, okay, and a liar. You see what I'm saying? But this MOTB is coming at full-fledged, man. It's going to knock a lot of you niggas off your feet. A lot of you camp leaders, you know, who are constantly mocking and scoffing at the fact that, you know, certain men, and those certain men being the men of great millstone, okay, and the brothers in like-mindedness, teaching that the RFID micro C-hip is the mark of the beast, all right? That's a highly thing that's being mocked at and scoffed in these last days, okay? And that's a scary thing because this thing is full-fledged, heading towards exactly that, you know? But Malak Judah, you're a slow belly, man. All right, you talking about where's the precepts? Where's the precepts? Where's the precepts of you, you know, being solidified and fully convinced that you from the tribe of Judah, man? Where's the precept saying that the Negroes are Judites? You know, it's not going to say it verbatim, plain upon tables, man. You got to go into it, and the spirit has to be dealing with you, man, to see it. Okay, everything isn't going to be spoon-fed to you. Jake be looking for shit to be spoon-fed to him, man. All right, but then again, like I said, this nigga's just a demon at the end of the day. All right, let's go here. And Salaki, I didn't mean to, tie this into this lesson, but I thought I'd go ahead and knock it out the park, because I don't want to see this nigga back on the comment board after this, man. All right. This is Titus 3:8. This is a faithful saying, and these things I will that thou affirm constantly. It's like that they which have believed in the Most High might be careful to maintain good works. These things are good and profitable unto them. It's like unto men, but avoid foolish questions and genealogies and contentions. All right, this nigga is coming with contention, man. Okay. It says, in strivings about the law, for they are unprofitable and vain. It's unprofitable to go back and forth with an unbeliever that doesn't even believe in the micro C-hip, who just came into the truth. Okay, if you can't get it, we moving on, man. You're showing obvious signs that you might not be part of the elect, man. It's been 2 months and you still haven't found out, the breakdown on the MOTB. You still haven't understood how the MOTB is the mark of the beast, man. The Lord is clearly not dealing with you, Malak Judah, 1985. A man that is an heretic after the first and second admonition reject, and you're being rejected, all right? Because first of all, the video that you commented on, that was the first admonition, okay? Admonition just goes into a warning, okay? So you were warned when you watched the video not to believe Bishop Nate, not to believe these different camp leaders, okay? That's a great question that still to this day needs to be answered, man. How in the hell are you gonna buy, sell, or trade with sin, man? Okay, you got guys that go and dance around that and still try to say that the mark is spiritual, or the Bible is a spiritual book, it's not carnal. You idiot. So Jacob's trouble is going to be spiritual too, right? All right, the time like no other that's coming upon the earth, that's going to be spiritual. That's not going to be literal. All right, you see how stupid that sounds? This is verse 11. Knowing that he that is subverted and sinneth, being condemned of himself. And you're condemning yourself, man. All right, because you're coming up against the prophecy, all right, which is the testimony of Yahweh Shai, which is something that you obviously lack, man. All right. And this is something that you should do. If you truly knew in this truth, you should learn how to shut the hell up, man. Okay, this is Ecclesiastes 5:1. Keep thy foot when thou goest to the house of the Most High, and be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools. You don't hear of and see people that's knowing the truth coming up to the camp telling them what's wrong, and you got that breakdown wrong. You got this wrong. You ain't even built up enough, man. You know? But hey, man, that's the demons coming out of these niggas in these last days, man. Okay? If this is even a Jake, man. You know, you got bots and all kind of shit. You be going back and forth with a nigga on the comment board and it'd be a fucking bot the whole time, man. All right? Either way, you know, he's a damn agent of Satan, man. All right? Because you're not in this truth. Okay? And you're not a witness of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. I bet if I asked you his name, you wouldn't even know the name, man. Okay, it says, for they consider not that they do evil. Be not rash with thy mouth, and let not thine heart be hasty to utter anything before the Most High. For the Most High is in heaven, and thou upon earth. Therefore let thy words be few. Meaning shut the fuck up, man. Okay? And Salakia for, going over the top. But like I said, man, I can't think of anything worse than a nigga, insulting my intelligence, man. You didn't think I was going to remember you, man? Okay, and the Spirit revealed you. You're a demon. This is Romans 3:3. For what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of the Most High without effect? All right, just because you don't believe that the mark is the chip, that don't mean it ain't coming. It's still going to come. And you're going to be presented with the option to take it, all right, or be off, man. Okay, then you're going to know that a prophet have been among you. Then you're going to know that you were following the wrong men or following the wrong damn doctrine, man. Okay? Verse 4 says, Yahweh forbid, yea, let the Most High be true, but every man a liar, as it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy sayings, and mightest overcome when thou are judged. All right, let's go here, man. I'm gonna run through this real quick because I got to get back to the plantation. I'm gonna just have to make that that separate lesson. All right, and again, man, Salakia, Akim, and Akwath. All right, but I had to get this demon out the way. This is of Hebrews 5:12. For the time you ought to be teachers. All right, talking about you know, if you out in the highways and byways, how can you teach? What scriptures should you use to teach? You shouldn't be teaching, man. Okay, you shouldn't be teaching. Get built up in the spirit. Okay, which you probably don't have, man. All right. For the time you ought to be teachers, you have need that one teacher again, which be the first principles of the oracles of the Most High, and are become such as have need of milk and not of strong meat. All right, so you got to humble yourself as a babe. For any of you other sincere Akim that just came into this truth, don't be hasty to get out there in the highways and byways, man. Okay, get built up in the spirit first. I say, you know, a good 5 or 6 months. That's when you should be really, you know, getting into it. Okay, doing your lessons constantly and going out into the highways and byways, man. All right, that's if you've been studying, studying to show yourself approved, man. Okay, but the scripture says, let every man be persuaded in his own mind, man. All right, if you're going to continue to be persuaded that the RFID micro C-hip is not the mark of the beast, then so be it, man. All right, we're not finna sit up here and go back and forth with you slow-bellied niggas, man. All right, this is something that have been given to us through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai since the apostles came on the scene, man, in 2007. Preaching that the MOTB is the RFID micro C-hip. All right, they've been on the scene longer than that. All right, but you know, that was solidified, man. Okay, that RFID micro C-hip is the mark of the beast, man. And if you can't get it, the Lord don't want you to get it. All right, He don't want you to understand it, and you better hope that your lot is not going to end up with you taking it, man. All right, because you can go to Revelation 14 and read the consequences for taking it, and that's going to come upon a lot of people, man, because they don't believe. All right, I'm gonna end it with that. Okay, yeah, man. Jake, man, Jake through. The writing is on the wall. The proof is in the pudding. However you want to put it, and you still got people mocking and scoffing. Okay, about what the mark of the beast really is, man. Okay. That's all I got for this lesson, man. See you brothers and sisters on the next one, Lord willing. Shalom.